So I'm going to just open up the Q&A and just see what kind of questions we've got. So feel free to throw more up there. Okay, first one I see. Does the throughput of the balanced 20X, I think, okay, so is the throughput of the balanced 20X available when all features are enabled, VPN, security? So SpeedFusion throughput on the balanced 20X is relatively low, so that I think caps out at, I'll look this up quick. Much lower than 900 megs per second regardless. So in that scenario, you might not be SpeedFusion protecting all of your traffic. You might just be protecting your voice over IP or your Zoom traffic or something like that. So Balance 20X is great for SpeedFusion protecting specific applications, but it probably isn't a great fit when you need to tunnel everything or protect everything at that site. You might want to move up to the 310X, which has, I think, 500 or 600 megs of encrypted throughput capability on that router. Okay, I see another question. What if remote units using a Pepwave modem need to communicate to our cloud? Is there a cloud solution for this use case? So I assume that's like some sort of private cloud or something along those lines. And so the answer to that is almost always yes. You know, again, we can use our Fusion Hub virtual appliance so that you can put that inside whatever cloud node or platform or hypervisor that's important to your customer. And I've seen Fusion Hub run on just about anything, anywhere. Again, we talked about the big ones, VMware, ESXi, Hyper-V, but I've seen it run on Nutanix and some other kind of more niche or up-and-coming hypervisor platforms. So again, really broad compatibility with Fusion Hub, and that makes connecting it to different clouds and applications really straightforward. I see another question, is the AP1AX 2x2 or 4x4? So that's 4x4 multi-user MIMO. Again, that's Wi-Fi 6, so that's a pretty bad machine for $299. I see another question about support plans through the partner and channel. Right now, our support structure flows right back up the chain the way the purchase was done. So customers can reach out to their point of purchase, they can reach up to the distributor, and they can reach up to Peplink. And so we work together with those partners that are familiar with the deployments to make sure that the most knowledgeable people are involved in that support conversation to make sure that all the deployment details are understood and troubleshooting is done in the most efficient way. So the support structure really hasn't changed recently. So I see a request to demonstrate some of the SpeedFusion capabilities. There's lots of video content out there right now that I think more directly demonstrates the capabilities of each individual SpeedFusion mode or algorithm. But I can definitely take that as a follow-up to work on more video content to help show how that application protection really works and demonstrate the benefits in a real world manner. So again, there's plenty of video content out there to show some of those, but I think that's something we can continue to improve and demonstrate more directly there. I see another question about CLI or SSH management access. Yes, this is a great question because there is, just like our remote web admin, there is remote command line capabilities. And so that is available to remotely use the command line of our Peplink router. And it, for products that have serial capability, we're able to remotely interface to the serial device that's connected to that. So maybe you want to be able to remotely manage an existing Cisco router or firewall or another vendor switch. You can utilize that serial capability to connect to the console port of that device and then relay that through our cloud system so that you've got remote, secure, centralized access to those serial ports or those CLIs of, again, the Peplink routers as well. I think we will have an upcoming webinar to look more directly at what some of those remote CLI and out-of-band management capabilities are. So I think that will be either next month or the following. So stay tuned for that. Another question, can you access a Peplink device without the use of InControl? Yes, you can. So you can access that locally through the LAN, just username and password, or if you've got more robust enterprise access control enabled. And then you can also access it remotely from the WAN if you so enable that. You can enable remote WAN side access. So you can just log into it from whatever IP address and port you've provisioned for the web admin. I'll show you that real quick here too, actually. There's some good features on that. So right now this stuff is being managed by InControl centrally. So again, great example of how to do this so that you don't end up with one site configured different than another site. But you can see there's lots of different authentication options here. What I wanted to show you is if I enable that web admin access to LAN and WAN, then it gives you some options like firewalls or whitelists so that you can open it to the WAN side, but it's only allowed from particular IP addresses. So that gives you kind of a balance of security and remote administration. But if you're doing a global deployment, man, I don't know why you wouldn't use InControl. I know it costs money, but it will save you that money in one remote problem at a remote site. It's really hard to imagine deploying a global system without having some sort of central management involved there to make it easy. Just got one other question here that I'm reading, and then I think we'll wrap it up. Oh, okay, so it took me a second to understand the question here, but I think I get it. Are full SpeedFusion bonding capabilities available for LTE links that are connected through an Ethernet WAN port instead of using the built-in cellular interfaces? Do you get the same benefits of bonding in that scenario? So I think what the customer or what the person's asking here is, let's say I've got a rack mount router in the middle of my building, right? I'm probably not going to get great LTE connectivity in there. So what if I use like a BR1 mini and put that on the far outside edge of a building, or maybe get an outdoor router, put it up on the roof, and connect that into a WAN port? Is the bonding performance going to be about the same? So assuming that you've got the same level of connectivity, there's no penalty applied or to either scenario. You can use an LTE connection over Ethernet or one of the built-in native interfaces just the same. The only thing you're going to lose is a little bit of visibility on the signal strength and some of those things. But again, you're not losing anything in terms of out of the box capability. It's going to work well either. It's going to work about the same either way. All right, folks, 2 minutes left. I think we're wrapped up on questions here. Thanks so much again for joining. And reach out to your Peplink account manager or your Peplink partner if you've got questions on pricing or any of the models that we've shown you here today. Thanks again, and take care.